Hello, my name is Richard Smith. I am the author of a book titled Intervention, which will be out soon. What led me to write Intervention was I would receive speaking opportunities, and during those opportunities I would mention various aspects of my life, and people would suggest that I should write a book. At first I just dismissed it and just looked at it as, people just giving me some suggestions, but over time I began to realize that it was something that God was leading me to do, and so I began taking steps in writing the book. One thing that has confirmed that it was God's will is that there has been a lot of spiritual battles between my starting point and up until this point, but God has been gracious and has allowed me to reach the point in which the book will soon be released. Within Intervention, I cover my early childhood, what it was like growing up in a two-parent home in which I was fortunate to have had, but at the same time growing up in an environment where there definitely were some difficulties and some challenges, and how I navigated through those challenges and the way God guided me through those challenges, even to the point in which by the time I became a senior in high school, I was told I wasn't going to graduate, and how God intervened and allowed me to graduate. I also cover a period of time in which I was in the Army. I spent a year in war, post-Army, and then also how I came to faith in Jesus Christ and the mistakes I made after coming to faith. I had to go through a long process of growing into who God would call for me to be, but I definitely had some periods where I stopped following Jesus, and how God intervened, get me back on track, all the way up until the point in which I am now. God has been gracious in strengthening me in areas where I was once very, very weak. I'm a family man now, love my family. God has allowed me to be surrounded by some great individuals in my local church, and I'm growing by leaps and bounds. I'm learning and just going through a solid process of discipleship and being used by God to help disciple others. And so just in a great space. And I just want to share my story because I believe there's various elements in the story that can be beneficial to many people. And I've seen the stories be beneficial to people. Ultimately, I feel like God is calling me to embark on this task of getting this book out, and I just believe that He's going to use it for His glory. In reading this book, you will see there's nothing in the book for me to glory in. I had to share things that were very personal, things that I didn't want to share, but felt that the Lord was leading me to share. And so I believe that God will use this for His glory, and that many people will be impacted. I think ultimately I hope that Intervention will cause the readers to see the various moments of intervention in my life in which God intervened, and it will in turn cause them to look at their lives and see moments in which God intervened as well. And I hope that it will help them identify areas in their lives in which they need to open up more and give God more control of, and allow Him to come in and do what's needed within their own soul. I also hope that it will lead to future opportunities for me to share my story with even more people. And I hope that people will see that one of the key things I neglected after becoming a believer was I didn't allow myself to adequately go through a process of discipleship. I hope that the book will cause believers to realize that discipleship is vital. I also hope that they come away from it seeing the value in community, in fellowshipping with a group of believers, confessing sins, praying for one another, and just engaging in doing life together. If you want to know more about the book Intervention, or if you want to know more about myself and the things that I'm currently doing, do go to certaintyperspectives.com, where you'll find a variety of things that will show you what I'm engaging in this season of my life. before you go, I do want to give a big thank you to a few individuals. Definitely want to thank my pastor. I also want to thank my church family. You all have encouraged me and inspired me to do what God is calling for me to do in this season. Also want to thank those who helped with the book cover design. Also want to thank those that helped me with some editing, and just thanking the body of Christ everywhere. I love you all, and I hope that this will definitely be a blessing, and I thank you for all that you've done to inspire me. God bless.